Hello out there to my empowerment family out there. Just coming to you with another topic that we could discuss today as a family. You know what I'm saying? So again, this is T Torson coming to you. So today's topic is validation. So I want to talk about validation a little bit with y'all out there. A lot of times in our life, we are kind of groomed, from birth and from childhood and everything to always seek validation. Now, whether that's an inept human natural thing in us, that can be, fair assessment. But a lot of times we can look at a lot of other things as maybe not as natural for us as well, that maybe a trained or learned behavior. So seeking validation, from, graduations when you're young into getting attaboys and attagirls and, all that kind of stuff. From when you're young kind of develops a type of appetite, to seek that and want that, and always desire it, you know what I mean? The only thing is the hidden thing behind that is that you're dealing with the whole, when you seek validation, you can also give up a source of control of oneself because you're always seeking to have someone else or something out there be the thing that defines you. So whatever that thing is also consequently can have control over you as well. See what I'm saying? So you have to be careful when you're seeking a validation. I know me personally, it was like a little light bulb that went off in my head when I realized how I, venture out to seek, validation and how others seek it from me as well. And it was like a phenomenal thing. It was amazing. I was like, wow, we all as people are always seeking some validation, somehow to be relevant, somehow to matter, somehow to support our ego. And I get it. That's a whole other topic to get into. But I think it's worth saying that it's a part of us, that we should understand that we don't need to seek that. And how much are we overindulging in it to get it? So I think it's very important that we be careful because seeking validation of others, when you sometimes seek validation from, in a relationship from your spouse, your mate, your partner, what have you, sometimes you can render a certain amount of control to that person they can have over you because you're always seeking to please them and get their approval and their validation. Sometimes we live our lives as youth, always trying to, measure up to the validation of our parents or what they saw for us or what they thought we should be. You know what I mean? And we sometimes can live our lives seeking that, from our own parent and that rendering them some type of control over us because we feel like we can never please them and we're always going to leaps and bounds, to try to please them, Unfortunately for me, that wasn't my situation. My mom was kind of the one of, she let me rock out however and just rock with me but guided me along the way type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's something to be said about both sides. I'm not going against either one side because sometimes, being a parent who can be a little bit more involved can be beneficial, whatever. That's a whole nother thing. But all I'm saying is that for the validation piece, I was able to kind of live my life and like just go along and get guidance, rather than seeking her vision or her view. She always would tell me she knew what my capabilities are and what they can be, and that's what she wanted to see, but never really trying to impose too much on me and let me find my way. But anyhow, so having said that, but so we want to be careful, because validation, we seek it in our jobs to get promotions and different things of that nature. And even sometimes your boss can have a certain amount of control that they probably shouldn't have of you. You know what I'm saying? A spouse can have a certain amount of control. A friend, what have you, can have a certain amount of control over you that they shouldn't have because you're always seeking for their validation. So sometimes people can manipulate you and have you in a situation where, and not that they intend to, I'm not trying to, throw jabs at anybody. I think we all have similar traits of one another, just in different forms or different times in lives and different things of that nature. So really, it's no judgment here, but it's just saying that, sometimes you can be controlled and manipulated, because, we are like a little control anyhow, but you seeking validation. So I just want to encourage you to be mindful of validating oneself is the most important thing, first and foremost. You know what I mean? Because you have to define your journey and only you can live your journey, and nobody's journey is like no other because real talk, if you don't walk a step in somebody else's shoe, you really can't really honestly definitively say, what it is. Of course, you can have some type of understanding because you made a walk a similar path. Train going by, you know, but not totally in their shoes, you know what I mean? So validation of oneself, knowing what your purpose, what your plan, what your destination, what your journey, what your goal, what your mission is here in life, you know what I'm saying, is the thing that you should look to validate yourself off of. You know, and I know that's a hard task sometimes, because just knowing what you're here for is a job in itself. However, once you try to define, you know, certain things that you are here for, then, you know, seek those things to validate your oneself. Know from inside that you're putting your best foot forward, you're putting your best effort, you know what I mean, and that you're going hard, because that's one thing you should be always evaluating about oneself. How hard are you really going? How much more can you really put into it? You know what I'm saying? So loving oneself, greatest love of all. You know what I mean? And that's the love that you need to have for oneself, so you can only have to validate oneself as opposed to, you know, having to validate, you know, get validation from others. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I just want to empower us out there, you know what I mean? Keep empowering one another, you know what I mean? And just, you know, just think about that validation piece, you know what I'm saying? And leave a comment, you know what I'm saying? And I want you to subscribe, you know what I mean? Share, like, all those good things out there so we can continue to empower one another. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just reaching out to my empowerment family. Let's continue to power one another, because, you know, enlightenment, you know, iron sharpens iron. Each one teach one. You know what I mean? And so we all out here to continue to do that for one another. So listen, you can always hit me up. You know what I mean? My email address is THEWAYOUT, the way out, the numerical number 7 at yahoo.com, the way out 7 at yahoo.com. Hit me up. We can always have a, you know, a side chat. You know, if you're looking for some one-on-one coaching, that we could kick it, you know what I'm saying, that you feel like, you know what I'm saying, some things that you heard or I said or the way I flow, maybe some beneficial to you, and might can aid you and empower you, encourage you, and, you know what I'm saying, help you grow, you know what I'm saying, just let me know. So hit me up. So yo, y'all out there, my empowerment family, peace and love.